Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special episode of Food, Fitness, and Fun with Dre and JD.
Yeah. Look at this. We're both in front of a brick wall. What does it mean? No one knows.
No.
It's weird.
Nobody knows.
It's weird. It happened.
And now we're here.
So we about to get it popping on this special edition of Food, Fitness, and Fun.
That's right.
Before we begin, I have a little
Segment.
recipe that I want to give to you all. You guys, we spend a lot of time, Jay and I, sharing recipes with one another,
Right.
things that we feel are nutritious,
Yep.
things that I feel are low calorie, but
High in
dense
fiber.
and nutritional.
Right.
And so today, this cast is brought to you by my dish that I call my Tex-Mex tequila salmon salad. What is that? It's some tequila salmon. I throw a little bit of Tex-Mex stuff in there, chop it up, lots of greens, some spinach, green leafy dark vegetables. It's probably about 300 calories or less, and it's about 2 servings or 170 grams of salad. Super duper filling. Jay had a version of that today where I took out the salmon for him and just did a trio of different beans to give it the sort of like meat consistency. Filled us up. We probably had that 3 hours ago.
3 hours ago.
I'm not hungry.
Me either.
You know, so it's one of these meals that you can get filled up, but it's not a lot of calories. It's not going to bring you down. So right now, both of us are on a caloric deficit. As far as today, we had a great workout.
Yep.
We're probably going to put some little excerpts, little videos of portions of our workout.
Word.
And yeah, we're just going to get it popping. So we're gonna how are we gonna do this? Like maybe have like the recipe in the description or something like that?
Yeah, you'll see it on the screen. You'll have the salad up and the recipe up, and that's what we're having. This is a new segment sponsored by.
Yeah.
So today's segment was sponsored by Dre's, what we calling it?
Tex-Mex tequila salmon salad.
Ooh, look at it. Doesn't it look delicious?
With the multiple trio bean
Remix.
Yeah, alternative if you're not into eating schmanimals. I like eating animal protein because I'm a horrible person, Jay. Sorry.
I skipped that stuff, but I have other crap, so
sorry,
I can't judge.
So that's the way it is. All right, with that being said, check that out. The recipe will be either down below. We'll have it available. And yeah, with that being said, let's get into this.
If you're listening, you can head over to our YouTube channel
Ooh.
and see the full recipe because you won't be able to hear it. Sorry.
The importance of water. Jay, you wanna take it?
All right, listen.
And then I'll take it.
A lot of people are not hydrated enough.
Right.
Often, we think that we're drinking water because you drink it when you're thirsty. But often what happens is by the time you think you're thirsty, you're really heading towards dehydrated.
Yes.
The body is a lot of water. 70%, 80%, whatever the number is.
About 70.
It's a lot of water in the body.
Yeah.
And the reason you need water is to keep things flowing properly, smoothly. And when you don't drink enough water, this causes issues. Now, one of the things that happens when you don't have enough water is your body will tell you, I'm hungry. But you're not really hungry. You know why? Because you're thirsty.
Right.
Now, that might sound weird, like I'm talking in riddles, but I'm not. Here's what happens. You're thirsty, but you ignore your thirst. You say, I'll get it later, instead of doing that. And what happens is your brain says, you keep ignoring me.
Right.
Why do you keep ignoring me?
And then you say, I'll give you food. And then you feel guilty about it because you weren't really hungry.
Right.
You were just thirsty.
Right.
Now, that being said, a lot of people come off with, yo, drink a gallon a day, kid. You gotta drink a gallon. You see people in the gym, they walk around with these big ass gallons and they, all these huge tubs, water bottles. You gotta drink a gallon. Not necessarily. What you have to do or what you should do is drink water every so often.
Right.
Might be a gallon, might be less than a gallon. But as your day goes on, even as you see as I do throughout the podcast, I drink water. So you should be just sipping on some water throughout the day.
Right.
So that you're completely hydrated. You never want to get into a state of dehydration. Because as Jay is saying, once you get into that state of dehydration, then you start thinking it's hunger or whatever. But if you stay hydrated, then when you do really truly get hungry, then you realize, okay, yeah, it's probably been a few hours, 3 hours, whatever for,
right.
And then it's time to eat, rather than confusing dehydration with hunger.
Right. And the other thing is, water is part of what gives our body oxygen.
No doubt.
You want to have that oxygen. You want things to be able to flow and go where they gotta go. That largely depends on H2O.
Yeah. In fact, every chemical reaction that's happening in your body in terms of metabolizing food, energy so you can do things, go beyond your day, is incredibly water dependent. So when you don't have water, you'll start to feel sluggish. When you get dehydrated, your body isn't metabolizing foods as quickly as you might want it to. A lot of times people are saying, yo, I want to get my metabolism. Yo, man,
Always.
My metabolism.
Always.
And it's like, all right, but if you're not drinking enough water, how does your body have all the ingredients it needs to have that metabolism process going? So you have to drink enough water so your body has all the ingredients it needs to metabolize the food properly and turn that into energy.
And that's why water is important. So drink that shit.
Yeah. But you don't need to OD. That's my whole point. Don't
right.
need to OD. Drink water. And okay, since we talk about water, let's go there. So can you drink other things instead of water? Right? So it's like a lot of times water is boring, you don't like it. You see what I have here? It's like a flavored water situation where I put a little bit of something in it,
right.
0 calories, just to give it a little bit of taste so that it's not as boring. Some people might do this with lemons. I know sometimes you do that as well.
It's a great thing.
Yeah. You can have seltzer water. Even if you on some you wanna, I wouldn't do juices, even though juices are okay, but we starting to get into the whole calorie zone thing.
Right.
So for me, as someone that's trying to stay in a caloric deficit, when I drink, I'd rather it be water or really, really low calorie drinks. But if you start drinking things of high calories, putting real sugar in there, you're gonna start adding up those calories really, really fast. So be careful. I'm not saying that it always have to be only water, but use sort of different alternatives. You can use some low calorie sweeteners if you're into that. Like I said, lemons. What are some other things you mix with your water?
Lemons, limes.
Some people do the apple cider vinegar thing. I used to do that forever.
Right.
We just pretty much stopped it. I have some here. So yeah, a little bit of something like that. A little red pepper stuff.
Yeah, people put different things.
Cayenne pepper. Yeah,
they're called infused waters.
Yeah.
Once you start putting things in it, some people do strawberries, cucumbers, lemons, limes. The reason people put lemons and limes is because that acidity cuts fat. But the point is, with the water, the reason you don't want to add too many things is you want to stick to the purity of the water. Once you start doing juices and even carbonated drinks of some kinds, what happens is you're getting less of the water. Although it may have predominantly water in it, you want to get as much water as possible from that beverage. If you're drinking something that has a whole lemon in it, now you're having a different conversation. Or if you have a cup of strawberries, like a measuring cup of strawberries inside your 1 liter of water, it's not really the same conversation. It's still healthy. It's a natural sweetener, but you're not getting the consistency of the water you may want. But adding something like those low carb or no carb tabs, that's what they're called, right?
Yeah, different tabs, or you have like the little powders sometimes, just a little additive, basically a water additive.
Right. So that might help to make things a little more entertaining, give you a little bit of flavor,
Right.
but you want to make sure you're consuming enough water. There's a whole nother conversation about how much water. That's a different conversation. But yeah, a lot of people are saying like you need to drink a gallon a day, more than a gallon. It's not necessary. Many moons ago, they said drink 8 glasses of water.
Right.
The reason why is a glass used to be 8 ounces. 8 times 8 was 64.
Yeah.
And that is 64 ounces. That's 2 liters. Listen, I won't be on here saying the wrong thing.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
if you're drinking 64 ounces of water, that's half a gallon, give or take, and you're pretty good with that. You can drink more, but it also depends on your level of activity. Your body may not need that much water.
Yeah, no.
Your body may not need that much water.
Yeah, if you're somebody that's on your feet, maybe for work, you're on your feet a lot, you're going to need probably more water than that person that's like maybe sitting down at the desk or something, a little bit more lethargic.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely based on your activity. Especially like you in that gym, you should be drinking your water as you're working out, sipping on your water.
Yeah.
Definitely have your water with you if you're doing your cardio, because you don't want to start cramping up. That's a lot of times you start getting those cramps because joints and things get dehydrated, muscles get dehydrated. So especially doing physical activity, you gotta have your water near you.
That's right. So hydrate throughout the day. It's really important, especially during the hot temperature. Hot wave. There's heat waves, not hot wave. What's a hot wave?
Hot wave. It's like a microwave, but hot.
But hot. You don't want to be in the middle of a heat wave and not drinking water. And remember, gyms are normally hotter. You're requiring more things from your body at that time. You want to make sure that you've got things going and got things flowing.
Yeah. That immune system, all that stuff is dependent on water. So drink that. And try to get some clean water. Let's have that conversation real fast. Like,
now we go.
I don't really trust a lot of city municipal water supplies. I'd rather get deionized, what we call distilled water.
That's right.
A lot of cats get caught up on this alkaline. Alkaline water. That is a ripoff. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Alkaline water is a ripoff. Just imagine for a second, like you have a battery. Batteries are alkaline. If I take a battery, right, and I put it in a glass or something, and I pour water on it, you'd be like, here, drink this. It's alkaline. Hey, you want this? You'd be like, that water's dirty. I don't want that. Well, why you call it dirty? It's alkaline. Okay, so same thing. You don't necessarily want alkaline water as much as you want clean water. So distilled water, deionized water, water that has been filtered, to me, is your best bet. I'd rather it to be clean than alkaline. Nothing wrong with alkaline where you add some like lemon in it, you make it more acidic, make it more alkaline, things like that. But I see a lot of people putting way too much emphasis on the, whether water is acidic or alkaline rather than clean.
It's because the conversation with alkaline water is largely based on pH levels.
Right.
And the idea is that alkaline water has a really high pH level, and it will help you balance out your pH level.
Yeah, and that is a myth because all your body's fluids have a different pH level. So the water you're drinking is going to be different than the acids in your stomach, which should have a really high pH level because you want it to break down food.
Right.
But that's going to be different than like your blood pH level, which is going to be different than your sweat pH levels. pH levels is going through all the place. You want to help your body out. You want to make sure your body is getting what it needs. Clean water. I don't care if it's room temperature, cold. The cleaner that water is, the better.
Tell them what clean water is.
What's clean water?
Yeah, because according to different cities, the standard for clean water is different. The clean water in New York is different than the clean water in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Those clean waters are different than the clean water in Connecticut.
My thing is, has it been filtered, and how much has it been filtered? You know, the more the filtration process, the cleaner it's going to get. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you it goes through the filter once. Well, it's better than going through the filter at all. It goes through the filter 2 or 3 times. That's better. If the water has been distilled, meaning it was boiled, and then it, you know, those little like droplets, and it turns back into water, even better, right? So all these things are different filtration processes. So the more filters that water go through, they have different membranes of different sizes in particular filters, way better it's going to be.
There you go. I just wanted to give them a definition of clean water because each city and state have different standards for what is quote unquote clean. So a lot of people in different cities and states will say like, oh, I don't need a filter because the water in this city or state is clean.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately it's going through all kinds of pipes and stuff like that that may not necessarily be the best. I just feel like, hey, I mean, if you trust your city water, your municipal, whatever municipality you live in, go for it. But I recommend it. It's like get some kind of filtered water. Doesn't have to be bottled water. You know, you can get it filtered in any different kind of way. I mean, like those little tiny plastic bottle ones. I know people in Walmart, they buy like 30 of them. My thing is, you can go and get like I get like the 5-gallon big giant joints, always filtered. I get deionized water, which just means it's like been super clean. It's really good for fasting, like distilled and deionized water. And I'm kind of always in a fast in a sense. I'm always trying to be in a caloric deficit, which is, I guess you could consider intermittent fasting.
Right.
So that's the water that works for me.
And another alternative is to get a filter. For the price you pay for 3 or 4 of those big ass amounts of water you're buying in a bottle, you can buy a Brita filter and a couple of filters. The filters last and this is not a Brita sponsor. I'm just saying that's a cheaper option is my point. There are filters that go all the way from like $30 to like $5,000.
Yeah.
But you can do whatever works for you. If you're spending I had a friend who was buying bottled water at like BJ's or Costco's or some shit. They bought cases and cases and cases. And we did the math one day. They were spending tons of money on water and still had all these other regular bills to pay. I said, why don't you cut that number in like a super small fraction?
Yeah.
Get a Brita filter and buy enough filters for the year.
Yeah.
It's like 6 filters for the year. They last every 2 months. She bought the filter and she bought the pitcher. That's what they call it. The pitcher and the filters.
Right.
And spent like still 10% of what she would have spent for the year.
Not to mention doing the planet a little favor by having less plastic out in the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's a win-win situation.
And that's always good.
All right.
So recently, Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock, has been under fire on the internet. To talk more about that, my main man Dre.
Well, I don't know if it's under fire. He's been getting ready for this role, Black Adam.
Right.
And, he's always putting, progress, little videos out. Hey, I'm doing this today. I'm doing that today. Dieting, looking great.
Right.
Well, he posted a video, showing that he's leading up to, to start filming now. It's about that time.
Yep.
And he's like, okay, hey guys, this is me. This is how I look. And some people on the internet was just like, okay, yeah, you look all right, but no abs.
No abs?
Yeah.
What do you mean, no abs?
And that got me upset, man, because it's like, first of all, this dude is in like tip top
stellar
shape. I mean, stellar, shredded, big
level.
arms, chest, looking amazing.
Zeus-like.
And for Cass to be like, oh yeah, but you don't have abs. He doesn't have a stomach. He doesn't have a fat stomach. It's flat, and it actually is like going in a little bit. But he doesn't have separated abdominal muscles, which what a lot of people don't understand, a lot of that is simply genetics. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone is not going to necessarily have an 8-pack or a 6-pack or whatever. You know, you might get the top 2, which I think he has, but everything else is flat, and you don't necessarily see abs popping out.
Right.
But that's a genetic thing more than anything else. That doesn't mean he's not working hard, because obviously he is.
Right.
Doesn't mean that he's fat, because obviously he's not.
Right.
He's super shredded. And I don't know, so I get a little pissed off with it, because it's like, people are stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are stupid because it's like, yo, everyone's not going to get abs.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone's not going to get that. And some people are going to have abs without doing any kind of work. That's just genetically how they're built, you know? So genetics plays a lot more into how your body looks than most people maybe really want to understand. And in this time of Instagram, people feel like, oh, okay, I want to look like this. And I understand that, but that may not be your genetics.
Right.
You know, this person who's 22 and got abs, you can't compare him to The Rock, who's like 50. You know what I'm saying? And they're in a whole different bracket. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you need in order to make a difference in your body? Well, you got to be dieting. We all know that.
Right.
You have to be working out consistently. We all know that.
Yep.
Now, after that, what's your age? It's going to be a big difference from somebody who's 40 to somebody who's 20 in terms of how their body's going to look. And then your genetics. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much you work out, you're not going to look like The Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Not without smoothie time.
Not without drugs. But even if you take drugs, you're going to look different. You're not going to look exactly like that cat. No. You know what I'm saying? You're going to look different. You're going to look like whatever way you look like. Right. The whole purpose of this working out stuff is to get in the best shape that you possibly can, to find who you are underneath that. You know, underneath that fat. And then when you bring the muscles out, how do you look? Whether that's naturally or unnaturally. If you feel like you want to take some supplements. You want to take supplements? You want to take supplements? Take supplements. Right. What can I tell you? Right. You know what I mean? But no matter what, put it like this. Hugh Jackman, brother that played the Wolverine, right? For years. Him and The Rock, probably about the same age, right?
Similar. I think Hugh Jackman's a little older.
Might be a little older.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman looked absolutely amazing when he was playing Wolverine. He worked out, got incredibly big.
Yep.
Definitely took supplements.
Yep.
But you compare their bodies, The Rock and Hugh Jackman, they look completely different.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Well, why is that? They're both working out. They probably both go to the same supplement guy. But, well, what's the difference? They are different genetically. Right. You know what I'm saying? So don't spend your time trying to look like someone else. Oh man, but he has abs. Why can't I have? Find your genetic signature, work with that. And just don't get on someone by saying, oh, well, your body doesn't look like this or doesn't look like that. Everybody's body's going to look a little bit different. It's just like, to me, that's like teasing someone about their fingerprint. Oh, your fingerprint goes this way. Right. Like, that's dumb, right? Of course, we all have different fingerprints. Right. You would never be like, yeah, but the way your fingerprint goes, it circles and then goes. That's dumb, right? So it's no different than someone's body. It's like genetically, it's going to be different. So why do you give a shit? You know, if the person, especially when the person is looking absolutely awesome. I mean, The Rock looks better than probably 95% of people out there walking around. So I just think it's dumb.
Well, I think a lot of it stems from what you said, Instagram. I think a lot of it stems from social media. In social media, it kind of gives everyone and anyone a platform, which is a gift and a curse. It's great that people have the ability to speak their mind and give their opinions, but you also got to know when to shut the fuck up. Because you got to think about it. It's like, okay, this person, whoever they are, a group of people are ostracizing and criticizing The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Like you said, this dude has like no body fat. That's the conversation, right? It's like, okay, if your body fat percentage is 10 or less, or 15 or less, or 20 or less, you're in the 1% category of people. I mean, yeah, I know when we say 1%, people think about like extremely rich people, but we're talking about body types. We're talking about body fat. Most of America is obese. It's like 50-60%.
Right.
So when you talk about a group of people or a specific person who only has 10% body fat, 5% body fat, 15% body, even if you want to say 20, he does not have 20% body fat. But even if you want to say 20, that puts you in what? The top 1% of the country? Shut the fuck up. You're going to talk about him? You're only talking about him because you can do it like this.
Yeah.
You're only talking about him because you don't really have shit else to say. And my question is, the person or people criticizing, do you have abs? Do abs really matter? I mean, honestly, I thought it was about looking good and feeling good. Clearly, The Rock is admired. Clearly, Dwayne Johnson is sought out. Clearly, Dwayne Johnson is killing shit. He's posting shit. You see him grinding every day. It's not like he went and got his abs sculpted in DR or some shit.
Which he could definitely afford to do. If abs was that important to that man, that's why he laughed it off. When you see it in the little interview, because I think that he was doing those little Google questions. They hold up the card and all that. So it was one of those things. He was promoting that movie, Jungle Cruise.
Yep.
And so it was just like, oh, people are asking, why doesn't The Rock have abs? And he just laugh because that's stupid.
It's silly.
Yeah, and it's like, well, look at his body. You know what I'm saying? That's just not his genetics. He has a great body. He looks awesome. But another thing I want to say is like, think about your average skinny ass anorexic model walking down,
runways.
The runways and all that. They got a bikini on. Do they all have abs? Honestly, from what I can see,
no.
A lot of them don't. Most of them don't. They're skinny. They have almost no fat, almost no muscle as well, but it's flat. You see what I'm saying? So abs is more of a genetic thing than anything else. Some people are going to have them. Some people are not.
But to me, that shouldn't even be the focus of the conversation. It's like Dwayne Johnson. We've seen him. Like there's footage of him in WWEF, whatever the hell it is now. He was wrestling and he was this slim guy with almost no belly, almost no muscles. And we've seen him over the last 10, 15 years become this godlike figure.
Right.
I mean, what is the problem?
Right. And if you look at the pictures of his dad, when his dad was young and wrestling, you can look him up. His dad didn't have crazy abs, you know what I'm saying? He was in great shape, big guy, big muscles. That's where Rock gets a lot of his genetics from. No abs.
Right.
So, yeah, we need to just wake up. And, it's like, that's why it's so easy to fool y'all, though. Because he's going to put on a Black Adam suit, and they're going to make him look whatever the way they want him to look.
Right.
They're going to use computer graphics to make that suit look any way they wanted to.
Right.
The suit might have ab insertions in it. And then cats, ooh, he got in shape. Y'all so easy to fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop. Because you see this one thing and you think, well, that's what it is. Not realizing it's a movie. It's a role. It's not that serious.
And that man is getting paid to work out. Let's have a real conversation.
Right.
No, seriously, son.
Nobody don't pay me to work out.
I'm about to say, I don't get paid to work out. Do you get paid to work out? Is it paying your bills?
No, it's not.
It's paying his bills. Think about it. Yeah, okay, Dwayne Johnson may not solely be getting booked for roles because of his looks. But you really think it has nothing to do with his looks? Come on, son.
Right.
It has to do with his looks. And even if it didn't have to do with his looks, people are told all the time, all right, listen, we're going to need you to beef up if you want to take this role. You can't be Superman or whoever, Black Adam, or, Spider-Man might get away with it. But there's so many different roles now that they just want you to look a certain way. So he's getting paid to look that way.
Right.
How could you be mad at that? He's getting paid millions of dollars to do what he wants to do. Clearly, he enjoys working out. Clearly, he enjoys being in films. He's getting paid to simultaneously do both. Shut the fuck up.
Right. And when, like I said, when he puts that suit on, they're gonna make that suit look any way he wants. When whoever's playing Batman puts on the Batman outfit, the outfit is going to have whatever they want to have in it. It might have abs in there, whatever. You know, they're gonna accentuate the chest if you want to. The uniform will look the way the uniform want to look.
Right.
And if they want to, they can always in post make a person look bigger than they always are. So,
absolutely.
You know, that grown ass man is killing the game, and nothing but respect. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Dwayne Johnson appreciation. That's what we got over here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And just realize, listen, it you know, it shouldn't be the focus. If a man don't have abs, who cares?
Or a woman. Yeah, a man or
a lady. You know, people are y'all see the climate. People are going to other countries to get sliced and diced and sculpted. Here's a man who's not doing that. Okay, yeah. He might be juicing up a little bit, taking some supplements. Cool. But that's what you're gonna criticize? Then you gotta criticize everybody doing that. And you still shouldn't, because that shit don't make you a god overnight. It helps. But there's a difference between someone who's getting help and the people who are like they're getting abs sculpted on.
Right. Easy.
Look at who you're criticizing. Someone who's working hard, living life, enjoying life, making a fuck ton of money. That's who we criticize? Sometimes you just gotta shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Remember when Christian Bale was playing Batman? Christian Bale gets in great shape.
Come on, son.
I don't remember his abs popping like that. I remember him looking nice, but I wouldn't be like, yo, his abs were just like rippling or whatever.
Bale is difficult because Bale is an alien. We've seen Christian Bale be anorexic, crackhead skinny.
Yeah.
We've seen him be swole and diced the fuck up. And then we've seen him be a fat Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
So Christian Bale is hard because
he could be a crackhead. He's gonna get whatever. Like, he doesn't care what the role say.
He's an alien.
Right. But even when he's like buffed and he's looking great in Batman and other movies, I'm just saying, I don't remember his abs being, I know he was in great shape, but I don't remember his abs being like rippling like that.
Were they super defined? I don't know. I ain't watching that in a minute.
It.
But the point is, who gives a fuck?
No doubt.
It doesn't matter. Like The Rock used to say, it doesn't matter what your name is.
No doubt.
On some old school wrestling
Exactly.
shit. So what's your name again? Well, my name is. It doesn't matter what your name is. Yo, does he have abs? It doesn't matter if he has abs. He's getting paid millions of dollars to maintain a physique, learn his lines, and play his role. And clearly he does it well because he's done mad shit over the years. He's only gotten bigger and better roles.
Yeah.
He's got multiple contracts with fucking Fast and Furious. And if you know anything about the DC shit, he's signed multiple contracts. He signed a contract for multiple roles with DC as well.
Yeah.
This is who you're criticizing?
Awesome.
A successful black man? Come on, son.
Right. But let me ask you a question though. When you think about someone, celebrity, whatever, who you be like, yo, that person got like rippling, crazy, fly abs. Is there anybody that comes to your mind?
Nah, because I'm not really seeking out abs. I admire people who just put in hard work.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you see someone like a Michael B. Jordan, or like a Christian Bale, or The Rock, who's like, these are people who we've seen who are like slim and not muscular.
Yeah.
And we've also seen them really grind and become buff, solid dudes. That's what I admire. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, there's people I could think of if I really sat here. Oh, you know who? I'm really bad with actors' names.
Like that.
Remember Spartacus? The show?
Yeah.
What was the black brother's name? The brother's name who was in charge.
So I don't know his real name.
Now, he was ripped.
Yes.
Those were abs.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, what's the character's name though? Come on, kid.
I don't know. Doctore? Was it Doctore?
You right. Doctore. But what was so crazy, and he is ripped. Like, so example, they was like, so he wears, for those of you who haven't seen Spartacus, yo, if you haven't seen Spartacus, I think it's on Netflix still. Watch Spartacus. Is probably the best. It's like a soap opera for live niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit is dope. Fuck that. It's exactly what it is. You get for live niggas. So it's like he wears, you know, the typical like Roman outfit, and in the Roman outfit, it has like abs carved into the outfit.
Yes.
But they were saying that the carved shit that he had was less defined than his actual real abs.
Yeah, and there's mad shirtless scenes. He's shirtless for most of the show anyway. Everyone is.
Yeah, he's also in 300 when the dude gets kicked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't
see him there. But just in case you don't know who we're talking about, you know, if you've seen 300, most people have. Yeah. The dude who gets kicked into the pit. Yeah, that's Doctore.
Doctore.
Yeah.
So Spartacus is a show about the rebellion versus the Roman Empire, how the gladiators overtook it, and the show is like death, sex, war, and fitness. It's a great show. And the gentleman we're talking about, he's got super defined abs. That's who I think about if I think about abs. Like, if he was like, how tall do you want to be one day? Doctore. But overall, the people I admire, they're cats who just grind.
Now, I'm glad you said that, because you know who I think about? Which is also old school. You remember a wrestler named Ravishing Rick Rude?
Oh, come on, that's classic.
Ravishing Rick Rude was a ravishing mofo.
I'm gonna put a little something on the screen.
Yeah, yo.
He would come out and...
he let y'all know. What? I want all you sweat hogs.
You fat...
Alabama disgusting sweat hogs. Keep the noise down.
Right, and enjoy the show.
While I show these ladies what a real man looks like. Hit the music! And and every dude had to be like, you know, I'm not gay or anything,
but he's killing it.
But he is ravishing. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like he would just like grab people's like ladies and wives or whatever, and dudes would be like, I understand why you're doing that. Like, this is one ravishing nigga. I don't know what to tell you.
It's a ravishing man.
That's one ravishing cat.
Shout out to Vince and all them.
You know what I'm saying? He's gone now. May he rest in peace. But back in the days, 80s, 90s, his body was like clack, 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 clack.
All natural.
I was like, we got like a 12-pack? What's going on with this dude?
Natural.
You know what I mean? The kid is like, he's ravishing everybody.
He's got it. Had the hair and mustache. I just come up and just
you know what I'm saying? Oh, which really messed me up, because as a kid, those were the type of dudes I looked like. Like, that's what a man's supposed to look like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't grow up with like some of these cats now. Like, men are like super skinny and whatever. Like, I came up in a, you see like a man is like a man. Like, this dude is like big, just looking cut.
Fly.
And just grabbing people's women. Like,
and just like, come here,
let's go.
Let me kiss your woman real quick.
Right, and it's in the ring. Okay, you can leave now.
Dre, that's your lady? I'm gonna kiss her real quick.
And dudes be like,
Hispanic, wow.
Yeah, I mean, so she is ravishing, so, you know what I mean?
Fuck
he's a ravishing dude. I understand.
Right.
It's the way it is.
And let's roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out, let's roll out.